There's one simple strategy you can use to keep a conversation going. And this is the number one strategy that native speakers like myself use on a day-to-day basis. Now, today's lesson is going to be a 3-step strategy. But if you learn anything today, please focus on step 1. Just watch step 1, practice it alone, and then start applying it to your real conversations. If you're comfortable with that, you can move on to the 3 full steps of the +1 strategy. So let's get straight into part 1. I want to start with this part, not because it's the easiest, but because it's the most important and it's the one that I do in every conversation. As you probably saw in the thumbnail, this is called the +1 strategy. And if you can apply this, you can have endless conversations. So what is the +1 strategy? The idea is that when someone asks you a question, you will give a basic answer. But I want you to always add +1. +1s are extra details and questions. So the way I want you to think about this is like a seed. With everything you say to your conversation partner, you are planting seeds that can grow into conversations. You can follow that line or follow this line into a much larger conversation, but you must plant those seeds so that that can happen. Of course, if you say to me, Jack, where are you from? And I say, England. That's only giving you one thing you can work with to create a conversation. So consider this. Hey, Jack, where are you from? Well, I'm from England originally, but when I was 20 years old, I moved to Australia. I spent a year traveling there, and then I moved to Korea. And I've been living in Korea for 15 years and I now run a business here. Consider that answer. I've just planted several seeds there. You've got England, Australia, travel, Korea, running a business. Those are 5 seeds that you can now work with and ask me further questions or comment. And we can go down one of those lines and talk for a long time. If you have the habit of doing this, always adding +1, ideally several +1s to your answers, as I said, your conversations will be endless. Now, it's easier said than done. I know, as a native speaker, that's much easier for me to do. But you can do this at home. Try to record yourself. Get a list of questions, answer yourself to the camera. Aim to add at least 2 seeds, 2 +1s to each basic answer. I'll give you a couple of examples. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? I ate oatmeal. Okay, that's my basic answer. I always eat oatmeal in the morning because it gives me energy. It doesn't have much taste, but I like to add mangoes and bananas on top. Okay, so I've added 2 pieces of information there. I have it every morning and it doesn't have much taste, so I add fruit. So you could pick one of those +1s and ask further questions. Another example, how was your weekend? Yeah, my weekend was quite nice, thank you. I went hiking with my family and we stopped at this nice bakery. And in the evening, we went to a really nice restaurant. I recommend you go there. So there you go. Of course, I could say much more than that, but I've given you hiking, bakery, restaurant, 3 +1s that you can now develop with me in this conversation. So that's step 1. That's what I really want to emphasize to you today as something that you should add to your English. But let me give you one more tip for part 1. After your basic answer, pause with a period, with a full stop, and then add your detail. I don't want you to connect it with a basic conjunction. When you connect it with a basic conjunction, I find that students don't give much detail. So I had oatmeal this morning and it was nice. It's very difficult to continue on with a large amount of detail, several sentences. So I want you to have the habit of making a full stop, making a pause, and then adding your detail. The next type of +1 is a question. This time, when someone asks me a question, I'll give them the basic answer, and then I will give them a question in return. Be careful here. It's very easy to say, "How about you?" or "You?" But you can't keep doing that because that becomes a very unnatural conversation. So try to be creative with your questions and don't forget your 5 W's and the H's, the how many, how often. Let me give you a couple of examples. What did you have for lunch? Well, I had some spicy noodles and an ice cream. Do you like spicy food? What did you do this morning? I studied in the library. Where do you usually study? Did you do anything interesting yesterday evening? Not really. I went to bed pretty early. What time do you normally go to bed? So notice there I've used a variety of questions. Again, this comes down to practice. Do not get in the habit of "How about you?" for every question. It would just sound unnatural. By the way, for all of your professional business content and lessons, head across to BritPlus.net. That's where you'll find plenty of free materials, courses, and textbooks to really improve your professional business English. Finally, it's just a case of combining everything you've learnt today and giving a few +1s and a question on the end. As I said to you at the start of class, I really want to make sure that you are comfortable with each stage before you do this. But let's look at a couple of examples. How are you? I'm good, thanks. I've been really busy lately, but I'm looking forward to some time off at the weekend. What do you normally do at the weekend? Have you been on holiday this year? No, not yet. I'm really hoping to get some time off this summer so that I can travel abroad. I really want to go far away. Where's your favorite holiday destination? So that's it, the +1 strategy. As I said, focus on part 1. That's where you'll really get that natural conversation going and then develop from there. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a thumbs up emoji in the comments because I'd love to know who is sticking around and upgrading their business English. And don't forget, go and check out BritPlus.net. That's where you'll find all of my courses, textbooks, and free materials for you to download. If you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel because there'll be lots more content coming like this in the near future. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll be back next week with another video and another chance for you to upgrade yourself and become the next global leader.